I'm gonna tell you something, brothers. And I guarantee that most of y'all won't really receive this. But I guarantee you by the end of this video, you will be analyzing yourself. You will be looking at the way that you move. You will be looking at what really fuels you. You will really be wondering or really be deciphering what you're about as a man. And what I want to tell you, brothers, is motivation is actually your enemy. Motivation is actually your enemy. Now, I know a lot of you brothers, man, are saying, man, what is Soul talking about? Like I get up every morning, I cut on my favorite YouTuber, I cut on my favorite podcaster, I cut on my favorite influencer, and they're giving me information, man, to get my day started. They're giving me information to hype me up in the gym and get my day going, right? I get that. I know a lot of you sisters, you boss chicks. I know a lot of y'all are clutching pearls, saying, no, I listen to Stormy Wellington every morning. And she gets me fired up. She gets me going. I listen to, all these other influential people, man, that are doing big things in life. And you're saying, they get me going, man. But I'm telling you, being motivated or motivation in general is actually your enemy, brothers. Let's look at what motivation says, man. So we're all on the same page. Motivation. It says motivation is the reason for which humans and other animals initiate, continue, or terminate a behavior at any given time. Now, if you look at, I believe Napoleon said it in the book Think and Grow Rich, and I'm paraphrasing, but he said, even if there's something that you consider it bad or evil or negative or whatever, he said there's still an amount of good that can be extracted from that. So even though I'm saying that motivation is in general, in the grand scheme of things, your enemy, there's still some good from motivation. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us brothers played ball back in the days, man. When it was 4th and 1 or 4th and goal and the big game was on the line and the state championship, the trophy, and the band was playing and all these things were going on, man. Motivation was filling your cells, bro. Your awareness was on point. Your adrenaline was flowing. You were motivated. That was a useful time to have motivation in your life, man. But when you think about having motivation in your everyday life, brother, it becomes the reason why you aren't succeeding. It becomes the very reason why you aren't winning, why you aren't achieving your goals, brothers. For example, let's say that your cost of living, right? As a grown man, let's say that your cost of living is just for having a clean number. Let's say your cost of living is $5,000 a month. In other words, in order to pay your rent or your mortgage, in order to keep your car note paid, in order to keep the Wi-Fi jumping for the kids, in order to keep the wife, taking her out on a few dinner dates and movies and y'all's favorite restaurant, it costs you $5,000 a month, right? What you don't understand is that most men, once they hit that $5,000 threshold in income per month, they really flatten off. They really throttle off the hustle. They really hit the Jake brakes on the grind. And it's so subtle, man. It's so common now. Most brothers don't even know, because you have to understand. You have to understand this, brothers. You don't want to see eviction letters coming on your door or foreclosure letters on your door. You don't want to see your car getting loaded on a truck, getting repoed. So it's your motivation to keep those things. So you're motivated to keep that same life, man. So I'm telling you, when you're going to work every day and you're doing jobs, whether you like them or not, most people are doing it because of motivation, brothers. And what you don't understand is that motivation is keeping you from excelling. Because again, you're getting off the gas, man. You'll really see this. In other words, let you get a bonus on your job. Let you have an hourly job and you mess around and get a bonus. You're going to start seeing a whole lot of employees taking sick days. You're going to start seeing a whole lot of people want to leave work early. I'm telling you, And you probably see it. Because once that threshold is met, people are kind of like, you know what, I really don't need to, I'm good now. I don't need all these hours. You can really see it if a person loses their, like if a person leaves their job and they start doing some entrepreneur work or start doing some work on the side of their job, right? I don't care if they're building candles. I don't care if they're baking cakes. I don't care if they're, cutting hair on the side. I don't care if they're, building homes. It don't matter what you're doing. What you'll quickly see, man, is once a person steps out and start doing their own thing, you can really see where that threshold kicks in. In other words, same scenario. If it takes a person $5K to live, and now this person is an entrepreneur, once that person realizes they can make, instead of making $5K a month, now they can make $5K in half a month. They're making $5K in 14 days. What you'll see, man, if that person is still living on the old business model, you'll see them around day 14 just start throttling down. They'll start just twiddling your thumbs. And a lot of you brothers and sisters that are in this position, you understand what I'm talking about. You say, well, hell, if I can make $5K in 30 days, then let me just lay down and just live life easy. You'll be twiddling your thumbs, man. You'll be just walking around the house whistling. You'll be Netflixing, chilling in the middle of the day. You'll be going out in restaurants instead of staying working, because it's like, why would I do that now? That threshold has been met. It's because you're still living off of motivation. You're still living off of, like, I just don't want to lose the status quo. I just don't want to lose what I have. It's motivation to keep those things. But I'm telling you, man, a lot of you are saying, like, why can't I grow? Like, I know what I'm not supposed to be doing. I know where I'm going. Like, why can't I grow? Why won't my business grow? Why won't my income grow? It's because you're still fueled by motivation, brothers. I'm telling you, it's a real thing, man. In the power circle, man, me and my brothers in the circle, we recently started reading The Way of the Superior Man, right, by David Dieter, right? Powerful book. We're breaking this thing down to nuts and bolts, page by page, man, going inside after every page, man, and deciphering it. And in chapter 1, very first page, the brother tapped into something that was very heavy. Chapter 1 was called "Stop Hoping for Completion in Anything in Life." And in a nutshell, what he was saying was, and I'm paraphrasing like crazy, what he was saying was like, okay, you see this higher version of yourself. You talk about you want to go do this thing, and this is what you want to do in life, and this is what you are, but you can't seem to lock in and get that thing done, right? He said, do this. He said, I don't care what's going on in life. He said, take 1 hour of your life and just dedicate it to being that higher version of yourself. He said, I don't care if the repo man is knocking on the door. I don't care if the wife is saying you ain't spending no quality time. I don't care if the kids are acting up in school. I don't care what's going on. For 1 hour out of 24, I need you to sit down and be that I am that you're talking about. He said, what you'll quickly find out is you really aren't about that life. He said, what you'll quickly find out, if you sit down and for 1 hour and focus on that self, he said, you'll realize that you're getting nothing done. In other words, you'll sit there and just stare at a blank wall for an hour. He said, what you'll quickly realize is that this mind, this energy you want to move in, is really just a fantasy in your mind. He said, you're really just living a fantasy world. And I'm telling you, man, the reason why people can't move past that is because of what they're fueled by. They're still fueled by status quo. I'll tell you what the brother said. Then the brother said this. The brother said, most postponements are excuses for a lack of creative discipline. Limited money and family obligations have never stopped a man who really wanted to do something, although they provided excuses for a man who is really not up to the creative challenge in the first place. I'm going to tell you this, brothers. It really simply says a lot of you, if you aren't growing, is what I'm saying. If you aren't growing, brother, you really have to look at what you're fueled by. You really have to look at, you being fueled by just maintaining a status quo. It's a real switch, man, that most people don't understand what's taking place. And in order to get past that, man, you have to fall in love with the work itself. Like to get past that whole motivation thing, man, you have to fall in love with the work itself, as opposed to what the work will produce, as opposed to what people will think of you by you doing a certain thing. You simply have to fall in love with the work. So if you're this person and you know how you should move, but you can't, but you have to go back and see what's fueling you. And I'm telling you, a lot of it is motivation. If you aren't motivated to do a certain thing, to get ahead, Brother, you'll sit there and have no fuel to run off of. You're simply living in a fantasy world, man. I was reading U Squared, of course, one of my favorite books, man. My brother Price Pritchett. And he was saying this. Brother Price Pritchett said, wishing, longing, wanting, desiring. These are not the same as pursuing a dream. These are mental states and can play an important role in the process of becoming U Squared, but they are essentially passive. Pursuit, on the other hand, is active. Reaching for your dream is behaving, moving, and it shortens the distance between you and your desired objective. I'm telling you, brothers, I'm telling you from experience, motivation is what's going to keep you from going ahead. If you have to be motivated to move and grind and get it, brother, you're going to always be spinning your wheels, because once that motivation is gone, brother, you're in a stagnant state. Go back to that football scenario, 4th and goal, trophy on the line, everything going on. If it takes that type scenario for you to perform, brother, you're going to have a low percentage winning season. If you need motivation to be fueled, brothers, I'm telling you, you're going to have loss after loss after loss. And I don't care what you're doing, man. If you're starting a new career, if you're starting a new business, I don't care if it's small. You can't be motivated on sales. You can't be motivated on being an influence. You can't be motivated by getting recognition. But if it's not about the work, it's just a matter of time before you pull out, bro. You're going to quit. I know a whole lot of people that started YouTube channels. And I'm gonna tell you this: when you start a YouTube channel, it's a very hard time to be. You putting effort into putting a video out. You getting 5 views. Took you 3 hours to make it. You getting 5 views. You make another video. You getting 10 views. It takes you going through a threshold. It takes you really loving what you do to go a whole year, and a half, 2 years. And ain't getting but 200 or 300 views on a video, 500 views on a video. That can put you in a state where it's like, you know what, I quit. If you aren't getting a paycheck from YouTube, if you aren't getting people commenting on your videos, if you aren't getting 1,000+ views, if you really aren't about that life, brother, you pulling off. You pulling out. And I'm telling you, man, you have to be in love with the work, man. I'm telling you, the only way to scale is fall in love with the work. I remember when I started my first YouTube channel, The Other Immortal Minds. If you aren't subscribed, go subscribe to it, right? I can remember starting my channel off, and I remember my first few videos. I was like, bro, how's this gonna work? Like where the people at? You know what I'm saying? And I remember building this channel over the course of I don't know, a couple of years at first, and it got to the point where I just fell in love with the work. And I know you're saying, oh, Soul, it's easy, man, to say you did that now because, once you're getting a check and once people are commenting on videos and da-da-da-da-da. I'm going to tell you what happened to me, bro. When I hit 40,000 subscribers on my first channel, I had 40K subscribers. Google sent me an email to say, you know what? We've decided that your content isn't suitable anymore. You're pretty much a menace to society is what they told me. And for like the first 60 days, I'm emailing back like, I don't understand. I'm not using any curse words. I'm not talking about violence. Like, what's the problem? Google would never give me a response, right? I took that channel from 40,000 subs to 95 plus almost 100,000 subs with no pay from YouTube, no nothing. I couldn't get no ads or nothing because I simply fallen in love with the work. You know what I'm saying? It was like, oh, cool, y'all not gonna pay me. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, what I'm doing, like, I'm fueled by something greater than a dollar amount. I'm fueled by something. I'm in love with what I'm doing. I love interacting with my brothers. I love when brothers say, you know what? You're helping me. I'm in love with the mission. And I'm telling you, man, whatever you're doing in life, you have to fall in love with the mission, brothers. I don't care if you're starting a barbershop or salon or bakery, a mechanic shop. Opening up, whatever you're opening up, man, you have to fall in love with the mission, because if motivation is your fuel, brother, you're really just rolling the dice on a matter of time before you pull out. You know what I'm saying? You open up a salon or barbershop and nobody's coming the first day. You're only getting 5 or 6 clients the first day. You open up any kind of business and you aren't getting that traction, you aren't getting that recognition. If you're fueled by that, brother, you might as well take that L and go do something else with it, man. Motivation is your enemy. I'm telling you, motivation is your enemy, brothers.